Howdy, I'm Matt, and it's shootout time between these FPV monitors. Now, to bring you up to speed, we'll have a quick run around what I've got on the desk, and I'm sure you have seen the individual reviews of these before. If not, check out the YouTube channel below, and they'll bring you up to speed on each of these monitors separately. However, this is an overview of all four of them combined, and where I need to pick a favourite and explain to you why that monitor or screen is my favourite for FPV. So let's start with the beginning screen, which is this one, which is not technically a screen per se, or meant to, well, it is meant to be a screen. These are the Eachine let me get this right, EV800DS, and I bought these absolutely ages ago, and these actually meant as box goggles, which, to be frankly honest, I didn't get on very well with. However, if you go on Thingiverse, you can print out an extension block here to move these two parts away from each other so you can focus on the screen. That's the reason why I didn't get on with these goggles in the beginning, because I just couldn't focus upon the screen. However, they have diversity, so you can have two different antennas on here, and you can also record, so you've got DVR recording on here, that's what the D stands for on the box, and the screen quality is absolutely fantastic. So these are the ones which set the standard. Oh, and also mine are a little bit heavy because I actually have, if I grab these, I have two 18650 batteries which I modified mine in here, and I also stuck an XT60 connector underneath so that I could charge them just using a LiPo on the field. So the standard was set with these goggles, which were very, very good, and of course it does have a shroud around the outside, so even on the brightest days you can see the screen very easily. So that was my reference. Now let's move to the first one, which is actually the cheapest one out of them all. So we'll actually say that these are about $80. And by the way, I'll put links to all of these in the video description so you know which ones, exactly which ones which we're talking about here on the desk. Let's move to the cheapest out of them all. Literally $25 to $30 depending upon the day at Banggood. I can say absolutely nothing bad other than that clip to get the screen open on these. This monitor is unbelievable good value for money, and I genuinely mean this. I cannot say a single negative about this FPV monitor because at most it costs $30. The screen quality is fantastic. The reception is very good. Yes, it doesn't have a mount on the bottom like here, which you can use to put it onto a standard, 3/8 inch connector. So you have to use Velcro on the back or similar, but you can get to the battery in the back. It's a 1S battery. People and friends in the Facebook groups and here on YouTube have been changing that over and then putting an 18650 battery on the back and modifying theirs, and of course that will make it run for days in short. So for the cheapest one, I can genuinely say nothing bad about the screen at all. So this tiny little screen, I can't believe it's only $25. Now I have noticed that it does flicker every now and again, and I'm not going to hold that against this screen just because I'm using a dipole, and the screen which I'm comparing it to here, it's got a diversity module on there. It is not as sharp as the other screen, and now you're probably getting a little bit of reflection here off the screen. Like I said, this is one of the brightest days, hottest days here in the United Kingdom. There has been in August, and it's super bright, and this tiny little sunshade on the top is doing an absolutely brilliant job because the sun really is beating down upon us right now. It is, that's why I'm in the shade and those are in the sun, put it that way. Fantastic value for money. The reception is good, the screen quality is fantastic, and it's very easy to modify to change the battery in there if you so wish to maybe something which has a higher capacity. So going from say 600 milliamperes to 3400 for the sake of 5 minutes work, okay? So I will cut that one some massive slack because it is so cheap. So if you're on a budget, no brainer, go for the cheap one because it is so good. That leaves us with the other two contenders. The first one, well, I tell you what, let's start with the one on the right hand side. This is the Eachine Mon Eagle. It is literally brand new. The screen has a lux rating of 1000 and it is by far the brightest and clearest screen which is out of all of these four. This one, I can never remember the model number off the top of my head, so I'm going to cheat and look at my phone. This one here is the LCD 5802D. Now, both of these monitors, so we'll put these two for one side for a moment. These are, if you're looking for box goggles which you can use as a screen, these are a no-brainer. If you're on an absolute budget, go for this one because it is the cheapest of the lot and the quality is fantastic. And those of you which have been and bought this, share your views in the comments section underneath this video. That now brings us down to these two contenders here. The first one is a massive 7-inch screen and the other is the Mon Eagle, which is a much, we'll say 5-inch, 4-inch screen. No, it's a 5-inch screen on the right hand side. Now you'll notice that don't have these monitors on and I'm not showing any of the images on here, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I have reviewed these independently already and this is the overview to each of these. So if you want to see the screen qualities of both of these, please do look at those videos independently and I've put those in the video description for you. So the one on the left, which is the LCD 5802D, which you can obviously understand why I'm struggling remembering the exact model number, is a fantastic, huge, great big screen. In fact, if I turn it on, you'll see just the sheer size of this screen is absolutely ginormous, and I must admit it is very enjoyable to fly with this monitor because the screen is so huge. Because it's a flat screen, you have a very wide range of very wide angle to view the screen, and it's on a bright day it's quite easily viewable too. I did mess around with the settings quite a bit to get a picture quality which I was happy with. That mainly included increasing the settings changes mainly focused around the contrast. It is a true diversity module. I have taken the back off and confirmed that there are two receivers in the back. It will switch and it will show you which one it is being used on here. You do get the battery indicator down the bottom and you can record your DVR footage to an SD card on the left hand side. However, the screen is the main selling point for this one because the screen is absolutely huge. It's 7 inches. So if you want a bigger screen, this one is absolutely fantastic for value for money. And I did buy this screen as I did that screen and that screen out of my own money. Okay, and the one negative which I would say, it does have a proprietary battery connector which I find absolutely frustrating, hence why you'll see that I've been and taped it to the back. That said, you obviously I've put some Velcro on the back. I've had these here, that one for absolutely ages and these three for about 2 weeks or so, hence why we got Velcro on the back, because I've been charging it on the flight line with an extra LiPo on the side. It does have a speaker on the back and I do like the fact that it does have a standard mount which I can use on any of the tripod or camera tripods which I'm using. So I do like it from that point of view, and I will continue to keep this one in my flight bag. Okay, now this isn't coming out on camera as good as what it looks in real life. I've actually turned the brightness right down on this screen now, and in the moment we're flying in a waypoint mission, so she's above my head-ish at the moment, and the screen's quite reflective. Now here in real life, the screen is fantastic. Now you may or may not be able to see that there's a red dot up there. All I did was pressed and held the record pick button, and what that's been done is that I'm recording to the DVR on here. Yeah, what's the settings which we've got on there? Yeah, 27, 34, 58 and 5 for sharpness, and of course I turn the volume off as well. This is really nice. We are getting a little bit of snow between the two things. I think that's just because this one's got a clover on it and these are just two dipoles, but first impressions, absolutely fantastic. And all you can see is my reflection in there. So yeah, this bigger screen is going to be really nice. I can't wait to see what this looks like at night. So I think that would be really, really cool. So yeah, first impressions, absolutely fantastic. Now you will notice that I have done my best to make the point that the screen is the biggest on this one, although I did find this front catch very, very tight, and you'll notice that I have just put a bit of tape in there to be able to grab it, especially when you've got a bottom mount on there. You can't get in there to open up the shield. However, this brings us to the Eachine Mon Eagle. This one is also diversity. Again, there are two separate receivers inside of here. There is also a ginormous battery in the back of here as well. I believe it's a 4000 milliampere 1S pack which is in here. You can record to DVR. One thing I absolutely adore about this monitor is the fact that you can charge it via USB anywhere between 5 and 23 volts. It does come with a USB lead which has got an XT60 connector on it. Frankly, I've lost it already. However, it really doesn't matter because that's just a standard USB connector, and I can grab any power bank or anything like that, or even maybe a power converter on the flight line and charge this up, because that's something which I'm pretty sure we all have on the flight line anyway. The buttons down the side are super easy. The one thing which I really don't like about this screen is the search at the top. It's utter rubbish. It just goes through all the channels and then picks completely the wrong one. And that's just my own frustration with it. That said, changing the band and the channel is super easy. You just press band or channel to change that on there. Press the power button. The screen is ridiculous. Did you just see the camera fade? Then did you just see it adjusting on here? The screen on this FPV monitor is by far, and in my humble opinion, after using all four of these, by far the best screen. It has no shroud on the top of it, and it does not need it because it is ridiculously bright. Now, I was a little bit worried about this one being so bright and eating the battery in the background. It has not been a concern. The battery in here lasted an entire flying day. So I got there around about 4:30 in the morning. We had a day's flying to say about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I used it the day after here to fly a micro quad around. The only reason why I charged it is because I was going out flying today, and I've just left it on, stuck the USB lead on it and just left it to charge overnight. Okay. Out of all of these, is that even with that one there with the Lion battery mod in the back of it, remember they got 18650 cells in there, this one is still outstripping that one, definitely that one, and then this one as well by a country mile. So out of all of these monitors, they all have their positives. This one you can use as box goggles or you can use as a monitor. Some of you may like that. That's how I started with FPV screens. Some of you may be on a budget. That is an absolutely no-brainer $30 bargain basement screen, which is of really good quality and is one of those screens which you can chuck in your flight bag and give it to the kids, the wife, or somebody passing by who wants to see it and go, here, have a look, and it just works. Really like it, can't argue with the money. This one here, what was it, the LC5802D, diversity, does record really well. You can also play back, the same on this one too. And the screen is absolutely enormous. If you want a big screen, this is fantastic value for money. It works so well, and the diversity works too. However, my pick, which is, I feel, well, no, this one was sent to me for review by Banggood. I specifically asked for it. I did ask for these two, but they said no, they can only send me this one because it was a newer one. So I bought that one for, we'll say, $80. We bought that one for say $30, and they sent me this one for review. Ironically, this one is the best screen out of them all, and if I had a choice of any of these, I would choose this one hands down, because this is the one which I have been using the most. Okay, that's why I've held off doing a final review or final summary on these, because I've had this one here for absolute ages. This one set the bar really high because the screen quality is so good on it. Then this one turned up super cheap. Couldn't believe the quality on the screen of it for the price. Ridiculously good. Then this one turned up and the screen is so massive. Look at the size of it compared to those two. Absolutely massive. Oh, by the way, I did drop this one, and this front, if I go like that, you can take that off there if you so wish. And you can see that I have dropped it as well. But I don't care, it was only $30. The bigger screen is really nice to fly with. However, walking around on the stand or anything like that, this one is definitely my choice. The quality of the picture is far superior than this one. What I did find is that sometimes this one could be a little bit blurry. Remember, it's a small image being blown up to a large screen, which is that on a slightly smaller screen it's not blown up so much, so it does look sharper. The colors are also far superior on this one, and the brightness is by a country mile far superior on the Eachine Mon Eagle. So that is the Shootout of the FPV monitors. These are this one's the latest one to be released. This is the cheapest one, this is the biggest one, and this is a hybrid between box goggles and a screen. I think I've chosen really well to do the Shootout. They each all have their own positives and say negatives as well. However, for me, it's that one. If I was stuck on a desert island with a multi-rotor and I could only pick one of these screens, as much as I love the sheer size of this screen, which is absolutely ginormous, that one, it fits perfectly in the hand. It doesn't matter if it's on the stand, or I've given it to the kids, or I'm walking around, or when I was on the flight line today with Darren and Josh, I gave this one to Darren and just left him with it. The quality on it is by far the best. And by the way, you can see there's lots of scratches and stuff on it. It's just because I've not taken the film off, and I don't intend taking the film off because I am looking forward to keeping this one. So there you go. That is the Shootout of FPV monitors for 2020. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments section underneath this video. And again, for absolute clarity, bought out of my own money, bought out of my own money, bought out of my own money. And that one was sent to me for free for a review, and ironically, and this is literally only come out in the last 3 weeks or so, and ironically, that was the best one. Screen quality, brightness, and the size of the battery in this thing as well. You wouldn't believe it, there is actually quite a bit of gravity in there. It's just because the battery is so huge in the back of it. Really like that one, and that would be my preferred one. I will put links to all of these in the video description for you. If you use those links, you will be supporting this channel for no extra cost to you. Remember, something which I like to be 100% transparent about. If you have any questions or comments about any of these screens, and I do feel a bit bad because I've not had that one open as well, please let me know in the comments section underneath this video. If you own one of these screens, please pass on your views on your screen and be very clear which one it is in the comments section underneath this video here on YouTube to help fellow FPV pilots like me and you make an informed decision. I love the quality on this one, although I'm not a fan of the box goggles just because of the focal range, and I haven't printed out the things on there. That one is super cheap, the screen size on that one is bonkers, and the battery life is not bad, to be fair to it. And again, it's very easy to charge up with a battery on the back as well, to be brutally honest. But this one, the Eachine Mon Eagle, is by far my favourite of them all. So with that said, for myself, Matt, a big thank you to you for taking the time to join me here at the workbench. Oh, by the way, if you're new, howdy, I'm Matt. Don't forget to press the red subscribe button, and of course press the bell notification so that YouTube updates you when the next video is out. We could be doing a shootout like this on FPV monitors, or we could be stuffing foam into a bush, tree, hedge, or somebody's boot. So with that said, for myself, Matt, I sincerely hope that this video has helped you. I've not seen a decent shootout between FPV monitors. It was something which I was really interested in because I've only just got into using FPV monitors, and as you can see that there is a wide choice of options depending upon what screen size you want, what features you want, or what your price point is. And I made this video to help pilots like me and you make an informed decision on what the best FPV screen is. I sincerely hope that this video